Hi, my name is Neal, and I am the product manager for ProcessMaker platform. I have been with ProcessMaker for about a year and a half, and I'm excited to share what you can expect from ProcessMaker platform on the road ahead, along with a deeper dive into our upcoming lifecycle management features. As we go, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. We'll revisit those for our Q&A. To start, I'd like to revisit what we at ProcessMaker strive to achieve every day. Our purpose, you can find it on our website. You can ask any ProcessMaker employee, is to make every second count. This is what guides many of the decisions we make every day and how we try to create value for our partners, customers, and end users. There's more that goes into this. Our purpose isn't something picked at random one day, but is informed by the bones of what makes ProcessMaker what it is. It starts with our vision. There is always a better way. That is at the heart of ProcessMaker. ProcessMaker is built on the idea that whatever we are working on, it can always be even better. From there, our mission, empower change makers to simplify the way custom business processes are built and run. It's not only about always improving, but also to make the things we do easier and more understandable, creating efficiencies that make our businesses better every day. So when we say make every second count, we're not just trying to give you a few minutes back in your day here or there. We want our customers to truly realize value from what ProcessMaker lets them do. It's not about just making extra seconds. It's about making each second we have count for more. To fulfill on this, we listen to our most important stakeholders, our platform users, especially from our developers in the open source community. Through feedback, support tickets, interviews, and more, we made sure to hear what our customers need to truly make every second count. And it came down to these three categories. First, complexity. The challenges your businesses face on a daily basis are complex. They involve multiple parties, multiple systems, and often dense or sensitive data. You need a tool set that can handle myriad use cases, because looking across our processes, there are virtually no solutions that are truly identical. The needs of your business require a level of deftness in their solutions that cannot be overlooked. Next, visibility. With solutions to complex challenges, understanding those solutions becomes an important part of operating them. Seeing how your solution is performing, keeping track of your requests, and accessing data from those requests are all vital to continuing to improve. Lastly, speed. This applies to both development and the eventual solution. Our users need a tool that will help them get to good faster. And furthermore, their solutions must provide that value to their end users as well. My engineering manager, Ryan, will have more to say on this in just a bit, but suffice to say, this is a major priority for us moving forward. So we've heard you, and we are launching initiatives as we speak to deliver on those goals. On our website, you can find this quote from Brian Reel, our CEO. We want to make it as easy as possible to automate complex enterprise-level processes. Delivering on that premise is essential to everything we do at ProcessMaker. This is what we show up for every day. This is how we make every second count. And this is our commitment to you to deliver the complexity, visibility, and speed you need now and in the future. So speaking of the future, we have a lot of change and growth coming. As many of you know, we recently incorporated intelligent document processing into our portfolio, and we don't plan to stop there. As Alex discussed earlier, we're looking at technologies all across hyper-automation initiatives to continue to develop our offering. As part of that, we're investing in our teams to support that growth, expanding our product team, doubling our engineering resources, and bringing in more expertise in these technologies. As your businesses grow, we plan to grow with you. And to reiterate what our leadership has shared with you thus far, our aim is for ProcessMaker to not only be a way for you to automate your business processes, but to be your true automation cloud, supporting digital transformation efforts across your business and helping you be better every day. Here's what that means for the year ahead with ProcessMaker platform. Alex shared some broad strokes of areas of focus for us, but I wanted to call out a few specific themes to delve deeper into. These features are planned to help bring ProcessMaker platform forward, following our commitment to complexity, visibility, and speed. Ryan will also share some technical improvements we have planned. I'll get into a few more of these specifically on future slides, but here you can see that we plan on a mixture of, first, new technologies to bring into our platform, IDP and RPA integrations, plus integration with connector marketplaces. Second, multiple areas of focus on enabling more rapid development and expanding the ProcessMaker platform toolset. And third, developing flexibility with process development and visibility. We will certainly share more on these initiatives as they near release. Specifically relating to complexity, here are a couple feature sets I wanted to highlight. First, ProcessMaker Rules Engine. Using no-code tools, our engine will allow you to create dozens or even hundreds of rules to be utilized in a single task in your BPMN. Combining this with our upcoming dynamic assignment rules, a feature allowing user, group, and self-service assignments using request data, will allow you to navigate complex task assignments and get the right data to the right users in your organization. To Alex's earlier point, this functionality can help you not only escalate a case to a human, but make sure it goes to the person who needs to make that decision. Second, we're implementing a suite of lifecycle management tools and peace of mind features to help you navigate development with ease. We're implementing an autosave feature into our process modeler, combined with direct publishing options so you never lose your work and always have control over when and how your process goes live. Complementing this is a more robust import and export toolset to enable updates to existing processes across environments, sharing complete processes with colleagues, and more. We'll do a deeper dive on this feature for you at the end of this presentation. Regarding visibility for your solutions, Alex's slide showed that analytics is a focus for our entire year. But as we define exactly how we implement a robust analytics offering, I wanted to dive into a couple of specifics. Our aim here is to increase the performance of our reporting and put more tools into your analytics capabilities. Firstly, regarding how your data is managed, we're implementing a data lake on the back end to create additional data redundancy and handle higher query volumes more efficiently. This will allow customers to access more data relating to their process performance. Adding to that, we're developing predefined reports and dashboards to share with all of you that will answer some of your most common questions about your process. How many people are using my process? Are they getting through to my desired business outcome? What can I do to make my process more efficient? As Alex has covered, this is just the start of a significant focus on analytics we're adopting moving forward. What I've covered here is just where we're starting with the platform specifically. There will be more to come. Now, to talk a bit more about how we will be approaching speed and some additional technical considerations, I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Ryan.
All right, Neal, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. Very excited to continue talking to you and to hear from so many developers. My name is Ryan Cooley. Obviously, I was part of the panel earlier as well. I'm the engineering manager for ProcessMaker. I started here as an engineer 4 years ago, and as I mentioned earlier, Laravel is really the foundation of what we built here. So this day has been really exciting, getting to hear from Matt, getting to hear from Jason. So thank you so much to them for taking the time today to do such a deep dive into Laravel. That said, let's get into what we've built here at ProcessMaker over the past year. We produced 10 new releases of ProcessMaker platform. This included over 500 improvements to the platform. Neal, as you mentioned, we're not slowing down, but this year we're focusing on balance. As with many things in life, balance is key. We need to find a balance between simplicity and complexity. How do we take complex technical solutions, but present them to users in a simple way? Balance between complexity and speed. Complexity does not always lend itself to speed. The more complex a solution is, the more computing resources it will often take. Finally, balance between speed and security. In computer science, speed and security do not always go hand in hand. So how do we find the right balance? I'm going to talk about a couple of things today, but one area where we're striving to find the right balance is with our open source workflow engine, Naira. Naira is an Aymara word meaning eye. That's an eye that's clairvoyant, that can see everything clearly and resolves issues others can't even see. And really, that's what Naira is to ProcessMaker. It is the engine that powers every single thing we do, the all-seeing eye that orchestrates your processes to help you make every second count. Now, let's talk a little bit about the architecture behind Naira. As I mentioned, Naira orchestrates your processes, and it does so using BPMN 2.0. Script tasks in your process map run containerized. This script provides an enhanced level of security because code is executed separately from the host machine, and therefore separately from the application code, from the database, and separately from secured memory. Second, it limits resource usage. By running script tasks in a container, we can ensure that any code running there adheres to the limits we set and does not slow down other parts of the application. Third, it gives us enormous flexibility. Out of the box, you can run PHP, JavaScript, Python, C#, Java, Lua, and much more. And with custom executors, you can bring in your own libraries and essentially run any language that you want. Now, speaking of balance, this does come with one trade-off, and that is it does introduce a performance penalty. Because code is running in a container, we have a bit of a startup cost as this container spins up. Now, in most processes, you won't notice this, especially if your script task is running asynchronously. But in scenarios where you need to run multiple script tasks successively, or where users are waiting on feedback, every second really does count. So we wanted to do better. We set out to answer one big question. How do we find that sweet spot? How do we find the right balance between security and speed? Well, coming this year, we're introducing Naira 2.0. Naira 2.0 still maintains separation between host and executor, but we have eliminated the performance penalty of having to spin up a new container for every script task, which means they run much faster. Additionally, in-memory execution enables more massive speed improvements because we don't have to rely on the database layer every step of the way. Finally, it is fully backward compatible with existing processes. Now, one of our engineers, David, developed a proof of concept version of Naira 2.0, and he put it to the test. We created a simple process to execute a script task followed by another set of parallel script tasks. We also executed a very similar process with sequential script execution instead of parallel execution. We then ran this in ProcessMaker Naira 1.0 and compared it to our Naira 2.0 proof of concept. So let's take a look at how we did. A process with sequential scripts executed in just over 1.4 seconds. The process with parallel scripts executed, as you can see, in 1.8 seconds. Again, in the context of a normal process, that's not bad. But when every second counts, we know we can do better. So running the process in our Naira 2.0 proof of concept yielded a 1.3 millisecond execution time in both sequential and parallel processes. And that's not a typo, that you're reading that correctly. That's 1.3 milliseconds. That is over 1,000 times faster than Naira 1.0. And with Naira 2.0, we are demonstrating our commitment to not only making every second count, but to making every millisecond count. Now, earlier I mentioned balance. Another area that we are striving to find balance in is with lifecycle management. We know that your processes are complex, and deploying them between development and production environments needs to be as simple as possible. And we think we found the right balance with our new import-export features. Neal will be showing off all of our new features in a moment, but first I want to get into a bit of technical detail. We wanted to make it easier to move your process, as I said, from development to production. So we are now introducing the ability to update your processes on import. The challenge here is that a process contains a lot of complex moving parts. Almost no process stands alone, but it contains references to many other assets, from screens and scripts to data connectors and email configurations. So how do we enable this complex functionality while keeping things simple for our users? First, let me give you some background, if we can take a look at the next slide. By default, every asset in our system already has an auto-incrementing primary key as its ID. Of course, this is a sequential ID, which means it's unique to the system that it's on, but it's not universally unique, which means it would be difficult to enable this update on import functionality that we're talking about. So kind of digging into the technical part here, since this is a developer conference, we decided to start laying the groundwork for this a few versions ago, and we introduced UUIDs to every single exportable asset. This is an ID that is totally unique, which means that if we try to export it from one server to another, and we find a matching unique ID on the target server, we know to provide the user with the option of updating that asset rather than simply creating a copy as we do now. There are also some unique cases where we need to perform mapping to other assets in the system that will not have unique IDs. These are assets such as signals or users, and for that, we can use name or email address to match these assets. Additionally, exported files now support encryption for sensitive data. For example, your process may contain API keys and data connectors, or sensitive environment variables that are already encrypted at rest in our database. For those types of processes, we enforce the encryption to ensure that your data stays safe. For other processes, we make it optional. Now, once encryption is enabled, the user sets an encryption key, and the exported file is protected solely by that key. Nobody else can unlock it. So now that I've laid the groundwork, without further ado, I'll hand it back over to Neal for a demo.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian. All right. Let me click over. All right. So this is just a demo environment that we've used for testing and showing off our new features. So let's start with just a simple export. I've made a process, thrown some different elements into it so that we have a robust demo here. So when you go to export a process, you're presented with two options. First is just a basic export, which follows the same patterns that we have currently. It just downloads all of your assets into a neat little export package that you can use to import into another process. When you do that, you do have the option to set a password In this case, because I've included a data connector, as Ryan said, potentially having some sensitive information, the password is required. However, when we go to custom, we are presented with a lot more options and a lot more information about our process. So to start, we have the overall summary that gives you basic information about your process. Down here, you have more information about what is included in your process, and you can make decisions about what you would like to include or exclude. For example, let's say that even with password protection, I don't want to include my data connectors. I can deselect those. If I am curious about what else is included, I can click into these asset categories over here to get some top level information about what I am including in my export package. So let's go ahead and say that we still want to password protect the export, and we will exclude data connectors as we like. I'll click export. Let's go ahead and set a password. There is a password requirement of 8 characters for extra security. And there we go. Once I've done so, I am greeted with a top level summary of what has been exported, including what is not. So this will take me back to my processes page. Let's go ahead and import a process. So thankfully this is right here. So I can just drag the file and it will upload once I type in the password. There we go. All right. And so now you can see the file is listed here, so you know what you have. And again, you have the basic and custom options. If you choose basic, it will upload and give you an opportunity to review what exists in your target environment using the UUIDs or names, as Ryan mentioned, to identify. So now it's letting us know, because this is the same environment, all of these things that are included in the package already exist. So from here, I can choose to update these existing assets or simply import as new, in which case, the current functionality will perform as expected. However, let's cancel this so I can show you the custom import. This takes you to a screen very similar to the export that includes just a little bit more information, but some similar options about importing how many elements of what kind you would like to do. So there's no new elements for screens. There is one updated element, same for scripts. That allows me to see what I'm doing. Let's say that I don't want to import this screen for whatever reason. Maybe this is a different environment. Maybe someone is working on it. Additionally, you can also go into here. And one thing that will be included with this as a listed feature is when you are updating something, it will include from this top level what has changed. So and you'll always see the last modified date having changed so that what is the most recent version. So from here, let's say that I'm ready to import. And when I do, again, it will present me with this same screen, just so that hey, this is you're about to make an action that is going to have an impact. So I can import as new, or I can update. I'm going to choose to update in this case. And after it updates, it will bring me to the process model. So that is how our import-export feature is going to be functioning. We are very excited to be able to enable this for all of you to make that move from dev to prod that much easier, and to give you that extra flexibility with how you're managing your processes. So to pop back to our presentation, today, make every second count means more than just shaving some seconds off of your business processes. It is a commitment to enable your users to make your businesses better, to give you the tools you need to capture your business goals, and to be your partner on your digital transformation journey from today to tomorrow and beyond. We are honored to work with all of you, and I look forward to seeing everything we can accomplish together. So thank you very much for joining us today. If there are any questions, Ryan and I are happy to take the rest of the time today to share what answers we can. So thanks very much.
Thank you, everyone.